Kind of, yeah. It looks decent so far. It's decent.
Decent.
Are we ready to begin?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Would recommend.
What is it? Let me see.
Rohrbox Scotch Ale.
I am dry at the moment. This is day 3 of sobriety.
That's a tough time to be doing that.
Well, I was on the keto, and I was losing weights, and I plateaued for like a couple days, and I was like, what's happening? What's changed? Oh, I've been drinking every evening, so let's not do that. So, yeah. And then it magically changes, and I went back to starting to lose weight again. So, we're close. I'm trying to lock in on 210. We'll be good to go.
I weigh 3 pounds less than you, and I'm over a foot shorter.
It's okay. I have a 6 head apparently. Do you see this?
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
This is great audio. Great audio. I have it all recorded this time. So try again. All right. So welcome again to the second ever podcast of the Siblings United, version 2.0 here. As I had to say sorry truly for the audio not recording on their side the first time around. So here's round two of the sorry not sorry topic today. We're just well versed in it now. That's all. So we started with invitations or introductions and stuff last time. So I am Andy. I am 38, almost 39 in Southern California. Dad, worker, podcasting guy
Brother.
here. Brother in the situation. And that's where I'm at. Take it away.
Lexi, 33, Rochester, New York. Therapist, into cats, into naps. Yep.
Nice, well done.
Sarah, the youngest. Still old enough to know better. Still don't. I forget my age half the time anyway. Actually, I had this conversation with one of my coworkers the other day, and we were walking down the hall. We met someone. I'm a casino accounting auditor, by the way, and we met someone, and I asked this person how old they were, and they were the same age as me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm the same age," and they're like, "I thought you were younger." I was like, "No, I just act like it."
Nothing wrong with that.
So that's me. Sorry about that.
And that is the topic of conversation again today. Sorry. The overuse in multiple different situations. We have plenty of scenarios that we are going to discuss in this. They call it a sorry syndrome, is what's it called? I think it's called the sorry syndrome. And it's a true issue, and it's one of those things that, so when they say it is an issue, this is like where I guess I need the medical side. I didn't think about this before, Lex. So when they say it is a syndrome, is that in a case where something that can be like a mental block and something that can be worked on and overcome, or is that something that's always there?
So I might be wrong, but I don't think the newest DSM-5 includes syndromes. It's like, people used to say like autism syndrome or whatever, and it's like autism spectrum disorder now, or it's like all disorders and whatever. So, but that's an interesting question. Let me Google definition.
You said DSM-5 is something science and medicine?
Yeah, DSM-5 is what we use to diagnose mental disorders. It's also used to diagnose like
what does DSM stand for?
Diagnostic and Statistical Manual.
Ooh.
And 5 is like it's the 5th version of it. So a syndrome is a set of medical signs. Wait, hold on. Let me give the Oxford definition. That's probably better. A group of symptoms which consistently occur together, or a condition characterized by a set of associated symptoms. For example, a rare syndrome is which the production of white blood cells is damaged. A characteristic combination of opinions, emotions, or behavior is another definition. Okay.
So there could be both things then.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if there was like a distinction of like it's a syndrome, so it's something that we could work through, and break it down like something that we will discuss here shortly, because I'll let you bring that up. So the 5 things the 5 or 6 things that I had read the first time around was reasons for saying sorry too much, and that was compassion, submissiveness, agreeability, lack of faith in one's own judgment, strict background, and anxiety. And I believe we started with lack of faith in one's own judgment last time. I think you called that out, Lex.
Yeah.
I have to quickly correct myself. Apparently, I forgot about Down syndrome. That's a syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah. Oops.
So that's not a block to overcome, like the pervasive sorry at this point. So.
Yeah. So sorry for that. Just gonna keep it on.
What's the word of it? A lack of faith in one's own judgment.
Yeah.
Go back and check it.
I apparently am not a DSM-5 expert. Jeez.
So that is the true case. I didn't think about this. The lack of faith in one's own judgment. Now, because you were unsure, you were lacking in yourself, is that the reason that you had to check on it?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So like knowing that we are recording a podcast and other people might be listening, I have to apologize. I have a desire to look competent, so just
fact checked it to be as truthful as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you announce you're a therapist at the beginning. You don't want to be judged by your peers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more of a I don't know. I didn't know that, and I would just assume that it, I don't know, one way or the other.
Yeah.
All right. So we think that definitely the lack of that jump. Mm-hmm. Don't give me credit for twisting my mustache.
Twist.
Mm-hmm. Look at it go. See how good it looks right now? Look at this beard.
That is a serious stash.
Where's the wax? You need wax for it.
Yeah, you do.
I put oil in it because I'm inside all day and it dries out. So that's what I have to go with.
I'm saying you gotta like wax it into like.
I'll send you this guy. There's a skateboarder in this area called the Fetch, and he has like his like comes up like around his cheeks, like almost back over to his nose, like he's out skating and doing random shit. And he's got this full on like wax mustache. It's insane.
I feel like that takes skill.
It just takes
looking
a long
him up
time.
Now. I feel like it's one of those things where like after you train it though, you know what I mean? Like how you train your hair to part at a certain spot. Like if you trained it to be waxed that way every day, it would like.
It'd start to, yeah.
Yeah.
But even every day, like it doesn't matter. You wake up and like, I assume you ladies are not the bearded ladies, so you've never had a beard, and it's just like all over in every direction humanly possible. Like just like 10 spider webs went nuts, and like half of it's like my mustache is in my mouth, and like beard pieces here, and like.
Don't mind my COVID.
It's crazy. All right, so strict background. Strict background was another topic, and I thought that was like the authoritarian parents having that. But I guess I want to say that this leads into the agreeability. Like when you have that situation, you're just trying to
not make waves.
Exactly. I mean, does that make sense?
Sorry lubricates a situation.
Ooh, gross but accurate.
Lubid.
I mean it like a car.
Right. I think it's interesting though the use of like authoritarian parents. I remember like I used to do a parenting class, and it was this program called oh God, what was it called? It was like an evidence-based program called Active Parenting. That's what it was called. And it divided parenting styles into authoritative, authoritarian, and passive or dismissive or something like that. And it said that like, it's one thing to be authoritative. Can you hear the plane? Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. You're good.
So authoritarian is like, a monarch.
Right.
Authoritative is kind of like a president, and then dismissive is like, your county social worker who can't really make you do anything, but like tells you what you're supposed to do and hopes for the best, kind
Oh
of.
God, that's the worst.
But like I can see an authoritarian situation where you'd be like, yes, Kim Jong, I will wear whatever you say I will wear, and I will accept this one cereal choice in the grocery store. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
sorry,
praise
sorry, like a bow and sorry, and like like just because.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
Japanese have, I think it's like 7 or 9 different ways to avoid saying no.
There's a disorder in the DSM, like that's pretty specific to Japanese culture. I think we've talked about this. It's about like a shame disorder. It might not be like in the official diagnoses, but it might be one that's like for further assessment that like you can like flip through the back and it'll say like these are disorders that like all the psychiatrists who got together and made this book didn't agree to like put in, but we're thinking about and we're seeing in certain patients.
Okay.
And that's in there.
So shame. does it result in Harry Carey?
Yeah, it does.
Crazy. All right. Okay. Cool. Right, so the other ones that we have are compassion and submissiveness. So, I can't talk today. Submissiveness.
Words are hard.
They are hard.
I think compassion would play into like the thing that I'm saying, or like Andy had said before, like the social contract. Like that would be like the my thing. That would be me in the grocery store, like opening around people or skirt.
So we've decided we're replacing sorry with either thank you, depending on the situation, and or ope. Open is an immediate surrounding area. So next time, both Brendan should never hear sorry again, and they'll only hear ope.
Ope. Yeah, but there has to be like a high inflection in your voice, like whoop. It's the perfect example is 2 women. One is opening the bathroom door to leave. The other one is opening the bathroom door to come in, and you almost headbutt, and you whoop.
And then you gotta do like a little thing with your hands too.
Yeah,
I feel like yeah. I feel like you need to go back over the instance with your client and what you say. I feel like that was a key thing.
Oh yeah, so like if I'm like in appointments and like obviously for COVID we're doing video appointments, and so clients will log in virtually and I'll still be on with another client. Instead of messaging them like in a little text thing on the website and saying like, hey, I'm sorry I'm late, I'll say like, thank you for being patient, I'll be with you shortly. Because like when you say sorry in a lot of situations, you cause someone to like, you force that social contract of like now they're required to respond with it's okay or like to excuse your behavior for you. Whereas like, to say thank you is to say like, yes, this is happening, I acknowledge that, and I appreciate what you're doing in this situation.
Right.
And instead of forcing the it's okay or no problem out of them, you're just acknowledging it and they can do with that what they want.
And I think that falls into the lawful neutral section of the contract. You know what I mean? It has to be acceptable. You can take your personal feelings out of it, or you can leave them with you if you want, but they don't need to go. And if it is what it is at that point, you know what I mean? Like there's no disagreement or disgruntle on one way or the other. So that's why I put it in a lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral.
Yeah. And then, like I said, it could be sorry or not, or the inflection of the sorry could change in the scenario of chaos reigning as 2 people come down the same grocery store aisle in opposite directions.
Somebody didn't follow the arrows on the
right. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. But you just see the utter chaos that ensues of like, you go to Walmart. I try to avoid it as much as possible. You go in, they're there. Okay, so I go down the aisle this way. And then the asshole comes around the corner and starts coming the opposite direction. So I'm not sorry in this situation. Now I'm the one that's in the right, if you will.
I always do the shitty glance, like look at them, look at the arrows, obviously pasted on the floor, and then look at them again.
Yes, but you could just do that with as much attitude as you threw with those facial expressions. While still wearing a mask. I cannot do that.
That has been really hard for me. So I've done this thing at work now where I'm a very animated person, and people, so I base a lot of my communication on my expressions. And it's hard at work because we have to wear a mask like all day at work, except for like if you're at your cubicle, like facing your desk and
Right.
you know, socially distanced from the other cubicle. And I've gotten to the point now where the girl that sits next to me in my cubicle, I call it flashing her.
You'll take down your mask.
Yeah.
You wear your pearly whites and
like I was doing something and like I could tell by the look that she was giving me that she wasn't understanding what I was trying to say. So I gave her I flashed her the full expression. And she was like, I'm so glad you did that because I did not understand. I'm glad I got the full look, the whole picture.
An essential piece of that communication key.
It is. It is. You need the whole thing. A Tribe Called Quest. Pimp named Slipback. A pimp named Slickback.
It is a pimp named Slickback. I really hope they return. He's been doing some stuff, and I think they are.
Yeah?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
The Boondocks?
Mm-hmm.
Come back?
Yeah.
No Uncle Ruckus, though, right?
No Granddad.
Oh, no Granddad!
Granddad, unfortunately, John Witherspoon is no longer with us.
Not of this world.
Nope, sadly. So, Jebediah Bitches Freeman is no longer with us.
R.I.P.
Yep.
Bitches Freeman.
That's what they wasn't that what I want to say that's what Riley told him at one point. Like, Granddad, you got to change your name to Bitches. Granddad Bitches Freeman. You have so many of them in here. Hey, Riley's got them all round up from online dating or something like that.
Gotta say sorry about that.
References that Lexi needs to get now. She needs to go and watch the Boondocks. If you're
Dude,
listening and haven't seen it, you need to watch it.
You haven't seen it, dude?
I've seen some of it a long time ago.
Dude, haven't you ever heard me sing booty butt, booty butt?
Yes, I have.
It's from that show.
I just watched the one where Thugnificent moves in across the streets. He's like,
yes.
"Oh, bring in the ghetto here." And he just starts throwing out money to all these random people.
Dude, it's so good.
So good.
Freestyle.
Sorry for getting off topic, but
Yep.
So to bring it back, I'm going to bring up, and I'd like Lex to talk about this one, because this is yours. The TED Talk from the Canadian study with Maya Jovovich. Did I say that right?
Just a second. I gotta,
M-A-J-A?
yeah, what to do?
Resident Evil.
That's it. See, you think of Resident Evil, and I go to Dazed and Confused. Sorry, go.
So yeah, apparently TED did a special on this.
There's your Brendan.
Oh, you can hear him.
I could hear him hammering away. Yeah.
Whacking.
Yeah.
Brendan, stop whacking your wood down there.
So yeah, Ted wrote an article last year. All right.
It's like he's listening. He waited for
it.
Okay. Oh god.
I can cut all this too. I got pretty good at editing, so I can pick a silent spot and then catch us up to wherever we are.
Okay. Upstairs. Here we go.
Can you just Are you all the way upstairs?
I was one flight of stairs. I have legs.
Wait, are you in the attic?
Nope. I am in the second floor of the house.
This is so Blair Witch. Oh, I thought you were going to go down and talk shit to him.
No.
I was confused. Dude, you can still hear it. Time to go to the attic.
Okay.
It is what it is.
So TED has an article from March of 2019 that's titled "Sorry to Bother You, but do you say sorry too much? What to say instead?" So they based it on, let's see, a sociologist, Maja Jovanovic, who's a teacher at McMaster University and Mohawk College in Ontario. They had a panel of women who were discussing, saying sorry too much. And what they came up with basically is that, like, sorry is a habitual way of communicating. So it's just like...
When you say habitual way of communicating, what do you mean by that?
So let's see what they say here. So they use the same example of like bumping into someone and just saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." Right. Like it's just a habit that we have that we've learned over time.
So part of our social contract.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of... It just talks about like what to do instead. So what I had said before of like saying thank you to my clients for being patient versus like I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's ways of...
it out.
Yeah. So and one of the things that they say here too is that it demonstrates gratitude, which is more of what you want to do versus like invoke that social contract of forcing someone else to respond in kind and say, yeah, like it's okay, or don't worry about it, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to look at it. And like I said, they're trying to replace it. They talk about starting with a small group, starting with somebody like close to you. So I recommended that they started with the Brendans. So all the Brendans are replaced with the Midwest whoop, and we'll see how that goes. I am no longer going to say sorry to my kids in situations like that. And then we'll report next week and see how that goes.
Gonna be a whole lot of fuck yous.
It doesn't have to be a negative replacement. It just has to be a substitution.
I'll be the outlier. I'm gonna try this out, see how it goes.
There you go.
Next week, jobless. Now I'm gonna go with the open skirt.
Open skirt, okay.
Open. It sounds like we're saying open skirt.
It kind of does, yeah.
I'm gonna go with the skirt and ope.
It's gonna be a great ride down the aisles there.
You know what, though? Honestly, it might work because even just like that little like catching people off guard with stuff like that, like those are the moments that I live for. Because like you catch people off guard and the reaction is always to smile. Like just like
I love that whole aspect of catching. Like I love interviews and that shit now. Like interviews in like random situations. Like there's a lot of them now where like they'll go on like a walk, like they're walking the whole time and like hiking or doing some random shit, or like the hot ones where they're like eating hot sauce and chicken wings and having to answer a question and answer it in a, like I guess you catch them off guard at that point. You know what I mean?
Because they're like locked in their head, like fuck, this is hot.
Right, or like when they're like hiking and climbing and stuff, they're like, oh shit, I'm like.
You gotta focus on your balance,
exactly. and this dude's
you don't
want to
trip
about my childhood and shit, and like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's just strange situation.
You guys ever just like throw like something about your childhood in there and then just like apologize?
Christine likes to call it stories from the dark farm, and I don't know where she got that from, but I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's a dark farm story, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah.
That is I might have to write this down. I like that.
Stories from the dark farm.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself apologizing for that all the time. I'll just like...
Can we write a book with the title of that?
Stories from the dark farm?
You're an English major, right? If you could proof a book and do whatever if we wrote a book?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, for sure.
Everything would be spelled wrong.
Oh god, it would more be for like scientific research, I think, than like an actual like story.
All right, so I have a question though. Then, because the standard, like we have a stereotype of Canadians and
Right.
sorry, like they have a similar situation. Is it because their social contract is that's the norm, that's their habit?
Hmm.
Like, I mean, because that TED Talk was a Canadian school, right? Hamilton, home of Monine, fantastic band.
Yeah, the professor was teaching at a Canadian school. So yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I mean, if Canada was the one that I would imagine have paid for that as well. So I mean, it's ingrained. It's kind of different to see it at that, I guess, that big of a level.
I feel like that's definitely part of like their culture. Like I think that that's like the expectation for them. That's the standard. And I think that also because of that, maybe it is a little bit maybe it alleviates some of that stress though because everybody's on the same page.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like so everybody in the same situation apologizes, so it's not like yeah, but then if they didn't, then you would definitely have the or not moment there.
Okay. So I'm looking
So
it up here. Oh, go ahead, Lex.
so sorry, I'm just reading a little bit more. Ooh. I'm reading,
You broke her. You broke her, Lex.
so I'm reading a little bit more of the article, and she's saying that so this professor Jovanovic, she was at a conference that wasn't related to saying sorry too much. She was actually just at an academic conference with people who were like published in academic journals and like experts in their field, and she noticed that all the women specifically in this conference were apologizing and like minimizing their accomplishments and like, oh, maybe I'm not an expert or that kind of thing. So that also plays into one of the definitions you gave earlier, Andy, of like I can't remember how you
Confidence.
worded it. Yeah.
Which one? Oh, the lack of what do we say? Lack of faith in one's own judgment.
Yes.
That would be the guy. That seems to be a big one, and that's a personal growth thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
I
also
think it's also safe to play down your own accomplishments and apologize for those kinds of things because then you're playing it off like it's not a big deal. So if somebody feels like it's not, you know what I mean? Then you're not overplaying it to them. Does that make sense?
does that not change your like self worth, self value, in your own aspect? I mean, downplaying it to somebody else.
I think if you downplay it to somebody else and they agree, then it would be downplaying. You know what I mean? Like then you're not like, but if you downplayed yourself to somebody else and they're like, "Oh, you know what you did is so great," then you're like, "Yeah, you know."
I think saying sorry a lot is an attempt at being humble, probably, or like, you know what I mean? Sometimes, not
In
in
that
all
in
cases.
that situation.
But I think you're right, dude. I think when you talk about the situation in the store where you almost bump into someone and you say sorry and they don't respond or whatever else, you know, like it does, you are giving up some of your power to someone else. And I think over time, even if like not in that moment, it would reduce your self esteem. But if you consistently say sorry and you have a group of situations where you are getting a response from others that's either dismissive or not acknowledging, then over time, I think that could absolutely affect your self esteem. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, like, if you're overusing sorry, you're constantly getting that reaction from other people, like, that will cause you to be like, huh, you know what I mean? So, like, in that
Maybe
moment,
I
no.
suck. People don't even acknowledge me.
Yeah, but so in that moment, no. But like over time, those reactions you're getting from other people could definitely affect your self esteem.
Right.
Makes
I can
sense.
see that. So I'm looking at Forbes. Forbes has an article. It talks about stop apologizing. 10 alternatives to approach I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Is
So
OPE one of them?
it is not one of them, sadly.
Damn.
But Lexi was right on, bang on number one. Find a way to say thank you.
Mm.
You got it. And it changes that dynamic. It's not a negative at that point, and there's no response required at that point. Like it's an ender, if you will. It was a good one, Lex. You're bang on. Keep up the great work.
Yeah.
Gold star.
The second one, I guess I want to read the actual title of, though. It's Respond with
Yeah.
Actions, Not Words.
I love that.
So is that the
I
expression?
love that.
Is it your expressions coming into play, or it's just like, or response of like, I'm gonna beat your ass because you didn't say sorry back or didn't say it back.
It's that, or like sometimes when I almost run into people, I'll just do the or like, like one of these, you know what I mean? Like you throw your hands up, if you're about to run into somebody, or maybe like skirt out of the way, you know what I mean?
Skirt, I like it. I feel like that's one of those moments, though. Do either of you watch Cougar Town?
No.
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 Is Lexi there? Is Lexi just... I thought she was just patiently waiting, but I think Lexi's gone. Money that the laptop died. That's my guess.
I really thought she was still there, too. Let me see. I'm gonna text her. Wasn't she on her phone?
She was on her laptop, I thought. Because it finally
Wait.
updated and did whatever.
Oh, she just texted me. She said, "Did you guys get disconnected?"
Nope, just you. Brendan cut the wrong wires.
How do we get her back in?
I'll send an invite. I got it. All right, we gave her the stuff. She should still have it.
Did you please tell me that you saw the picture I sent you?
Oh yeah. Wait till you see the screen grab I got. I gotta make sure I get it. Paste. Oh yeah, I got it. Okay. Perfect.
She said login and password.
Same as before.
Oh, I thought you were telling me that to type to her, so we just sent her the same thing.
Now
Oh.
she knows.
Sorry.
Oh.
What? What the hell? I'm like so unfamiliar with Zoom. Like, oh.
Hold on. I gotta get a picture of it.
Picture is gone. Can't see it.
I got it. You got it. It's all wrapped up here shortly. We've been on for about 30 minutes or so. Maybe like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. Where the hell do you see that? Where is that information?
I see it on my recording side. Oh, what information? The meeting information?
Yeah.
There's a little eye in the top left. If you click that, it gives you all the meeting information.
What? Oh, so you could copy the link
Check
and
your
then
waiting room
send
too
it?
to let her in.
I don't have a waiting room. I do have a waiting room, but she's not there yet.
Okay.
Everybody else is like so familiar with this program from like working from home and whatever, and I've just never used it.
I rarely use it, honestly. Like they make us, it logs into us for work stuff. Like we have a government account, so it keeps it there, and like they use it for like chat and like check in. Like I'm here, I'm at work today. Like they take whatever timestamps there. But other than that, like they rarely use it.
Oh.
It says connecting. She in the waiting room?
No. I guess her thing is not connecting to Zoom.
It says Michael DeMarco is in a Zoom. I can see it. I'll blow up his spot.
Oh, shit. Oh.
So she might be down.
Down? Maybe like the interwebs?
Yeah, but she's on her phone.
Might be the, I don't know what that's called. When you use your phone.
Hotspot.
What, mobile data? That's what I wanted to say. That was way too difficult for my brain to brain. Oh, there she is. She popped up.
Heyo.
You back?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was my internet, though.
And we thought you were just sitting there patiently, and Sarah was talking, and it was like, "Hey, Lex," and then you just like didn't say anything.
Dude, you were just sitting there like this.
Yes.
You just need to
Really?
record a GIF of yourself, just like play it for like and just loop it back and over and over and over. That would be weird. Like 15 minutes of you just.
It's like deadlifts of your forehead, but with your eyebrows.
Well done there, Johnny Bravo. Well done.
I can only do like the one eyebrow lift on the one side. My other side doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like you had to turn your head.
Can you guys do that?
Do what? I
Lift.
can only lift this one. Like this one goes up just fine, and then this one looks crazy.
You don't have to tell us.
That's a very crazy eye.
So,
Right,
what the hell were we talking about?
That was number 2 in the Forbes list. Respond with actions, not words. Number 3 is talk about what you'd like to see happen as a resolution.
Hmm.
I would like you to follow the arrows on the aisle.
Right,
the
so
stickers that are clearly fucking marked.
I guess that'd be in a more like professional setting when you're trying to work something out more than your standard social contract.
Oh, you know what I really hate? I hate when people say, "I'm sorry you feel that way."
Ooh.
I don't know if that's like related to what we're immediately talking about, but it's sparked, and I'm like,
Dude, I'm fucking triggered.
Yeah. You're gonna be sorry that you're sorry I feel that way.
It's like they're taking the responsibility of what they've done off of themselves and putting it on you. I did something shitty, and I'm sorry that it upset you.
It's not even that, because, like, at the end of the day, even if someone's a total shitbag and you feel some kind of way about it, like, you are in charge of your own feelings. I can handle that.
Right.
But I'm sorry you feel that way is definitely a case of the backhanded sorry. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
I would say that definitely ties into the backhanded sorry.
Yeah.
It's a sorry burn.
Yeah.
So number 4, apologize without using the word sorry. I guess that'd be like a my bad. My bad.
Oh God.
Pardonnez-vous.
Yeah. Pardonne-moi. Pardon.
Wait, so does that mean that the OPE in the skirt?
So the OPE, I guess, in skirt would be this number 4. So we nailed these down without even knowing what we were doing.
Look at us.
Look at us go. Who gave us a podcast?
You did.
Yeah. Number 5, don't apologize for bothering people. I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
Like, sorry to interrupt whatever's going on. Like,
sorry that you're my boss and your job is to help me, but I'm asking you to help me.
Right.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Let's clear into there.
I mean, I guess, but like, say for example, you're in an apartment and your upstairs neighbors are being super loud, and they say like sorry. That's a bother. You know, I feel like they should apologize for that.
Right.
Yeah.
What is
You're the one saying sorry. They're saying more the bothering is you are bothering, and you are the one that's saying sorry. So I think it's a very directional.
Oh, ooh, excellent point.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's a Walmart directional aisle. We don't go down the other one, right? Stick to it. You'll be able to get your Cheetos and hot fries. And then the next aisle is Capri Suns.
Takis. Takis is what the kids are eating these days.
I heard that.
You know what? Bring me the old Andy's hot fries. I think that's the OG originals, and they're way better than all of them.
Those were like kind of vinegary, right? And there wasn't like, I feel like hot Takis and hot Cheetos have a lot of like dust. That like Dorito kind of dust.
Mm-hmm. Well, Andy's hot fries had the regular fries, and then they had the hot ones. So they had the good tasty ones like that, and then the hotter ones.
Mm.
So I bought Scooby snacks. They're freaking good. It's like Teddy Grahams, but like like a
bone shape.
well, yeah, it's shaped like a dog biscuit. But they're like Teddy Grahams kind of just like disintegrate in your mouth, and these are like they have substance,
Mhm.
and they're cheaper than Teddy Grahams.
Ooh, all right. All right, so number 6, practice empathy instead of giving a sympathy sorry. So the sympathy sorry, I didn't think about that one. That was a like a quick get out of it, I guess.
Mm.
Or so you have to show empathy.
So
I
like,
never know what to say to people when someone's died, though. Like, I don't know what the hell to say to people.
I hate sorry for your loss. It's
Yeah.
so impersonal, and it's like it's not like you killed the person. You know what I mean? I think that's an interesting thing.
Ew.
Saying like I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm
Right.
sorry that person's dead. Like that's not great. Like why are you even saying sorry? Because now of course that's another like invoking the social contract. Oh, it's okay, or oh,
Right.
thank you, or whatever. Instead, you could just like acknowledge and validate like that sucks. Like
Right.
here's a hug, or like you're giving them something versus like forcing them to give you something.
Yeah.
Like
Especially at a
fucking
moment of grief at that point, that'd definitely be the way to alleviate some of that pressure, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very like, but like, what do you, so instead of sorry in that situation, like, what do you say?
that's a good question.
That sucks.
I mean, what are you telling them at that point? If you tell somebody, "I'm sorry for your loss," usually it's impersonal anyway. Um, it's not like
My, my,
you're gonna go to
my,
mommy and be like, "Sorry for your loss on grandma." Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's a weird. I feel like there's that social outbound line contract, and maybe that one is a lawful
Mm.
neutral. Just saying, possibility.
I I feel like that sucks is a little crass, but maybe like a nicer version of that. Like you're
The events are unfortunate.
I'm
yeah.
sorry they died.
Oh, someone died. Those events are unfortunate. Godspeed to you. Good day to use.
May your health continue.
Yeah.
Use.
That's a it's always sunny quote. I think it's Mac.
Um,
He's like hanging out with the mobsters. Good day to use. When you said this.
our dad has a story about Nana, him picking her up for an appointment, and her, just generally being curmudgeous because
Mm.
she was, and complaining about everything. And our dad is just very, like no bullshit, and was just like, you know what, Ma? At least you woke up on the right side of the sod this morning.
Well, he said that to her more than once. She was like going down the stairs at his house once, and she was complaining about something. And he's like, "Well, at least you're on the right side of the sod." Jesus Christ!
Okay, so if we continue to do this, your dad definitely has to be on the topic. Okay, it has to happen. So somebody will have to go to his house to record with him,
Yes.
and that has to happen.
Nothing as good as the Thanksgiving when he said Nana was again being, dark farm stories for herself and saying all she ever did anymore was look at obituaries. And our dad came back and said, "Why, Ma, to see what your friends are up to?" Favorite daddy story of all time.
Yeah, I agree. Would agree. So wait, did we figure out what to say to people when somebody dies? Do we have an answer on that or no?
I'm calling the lawful neutral. I'm saying it's okay to say sorry for your loss. It's a true, genuine compassion of death is a hard subject as it is anyway.
But what is the expectation? Like you're putting an expectation on that person to say something
I
back
guess
to you.
you expect to know that they can't compensate and process all of it anyway to be able to communicate on that level with you.
I think they might say something like "thank you,"
Right.
like "thank you," like "thank you for that apology."
That's usually what happens. I imagine most people do say, thank you, and you get a hug and you get whatever at that point. But then it's also an opportunity for if they want to handle their grief in a different way or talk to somebody else, and it lets both of you separate paths at that point. I think. So
Yeah.
I call it lawful neutral. That's where I rule. You
Mm.
guys can come up with a match if you want one.
I think that people that would say something personal, so like I'm just trying to think of like, people with like Brendan's mom that would like come up, when you have that like procession or whatever in the wake. And a lot of people generically came up and said sorry for your loss, but there were some people that came up and they would say, she was such a wonderful woman, like these are some things that I will miss about her.
Right.
And
like
I don't know. Yeah.
Positive expression, positive experiences from a life shared.
Yeah, and I feel like if you didn't care enough about a person to have some kind of story or some kind of meaningful, input in that situation, then why the fuck are you there?
True at that point.
That's true though. But what do you say to like an acquaintance though? You know what I mean? Like, are you really sorry for that?
Going to their funeral?
That's why I think it's a lawful neutral. It goes on an acquaintance level, and then you have to base it on the relationship to whatever. So I mean, that's his multifacets that it ties into. So again, I call it lawful neutral. So that was what, number 6?
Yeah.
Number 7, express self-awareness and what you can do to achieve the desired outcome. I guess I figured that would have been in like number 3. Talk about a resolution. I don't see how that differs.
Wait, will you reread it one more time?
Yeah.
Express self-awareness and what you can do to achieve the desired outcome.
Okay, so like, say for example, someone. No, that's not a good example.
I'm thinking like.
So they're saying, here's their example. Instead of saying sorry, that if like somebody pointed out something in like a presentation or something, saying thanks for pointing that out. What else is worth noting, or what I guess getting more from that point. So instead of apologizing for the mistake, saying acknowledging it, they thanked him for that at that point, and then directed into something that drove the outcome.
Okay, I have an example. So Brendan's cat Diana always gets under my feet, and I end up kicking her like in the face sometimes. So if I were to say to Diana like, "Sorry, I kicked you in the face," that's not helpful for her because she's a cat who's getting kicked in the face repeatedly. However, if I were to say to her, like, "Oh, Diana, I keep kicking you in the face. I'm really going to, like, watch out next time when I'm walking through the kitchen." I didn't say sorry, but I acknowledged what I keep doing, and I gave her, like, a plan of action for her face to not get kicked.
Sounds like my cat or my dog telling my dog to get up from under my damn feet.
Yep.
By having black cats.
Yeah.
It's the worst. Little soot motes.
Yeah.
All right, so number 8. Respond confidently to perceived failure and commit to correcting it. Saying sorry certainly has its place, including in the workplace, but apologize for when you hurt someone personally or emotionally. That didn't go as well as planned. Basically, situating it out for that. I guess that's a lot of these, they seem to like fall back into the same ones. I think Forbes is cheating us here on this 10 list.
Wait, but say that one
better than top 5.
Say that one more time.
Respond confidently to perceived failure and commit to correcting it. Says that didn't go as well as planned, but I got this. Let me go to work.
I just hate when they give like cheesy examples. Like nobody's gonna say that.
Right.
You gotta think of like a real world example.
Yeah, number 9.
I might throw an open there.
Yeah.
I'd be like, so I missed that.
Though. Take a rational, practical perspective rather than an emotional one. Okay, yeah. If you're perceiving and you're doing all those other things, they just dragged out one topic there because it probably has a little not niches and whatever else.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these interplay.
Yeah.
And then ask for constructive feedback is number 10. That's a very professional level. I guess it is Forbes and where you want to do that, but
yeah.
I think the first couple were spot on though. So finding ways to say thank you, responding with actions, and then trying to figure out a resolution. I like it. All in all, not bad.
Not bad. I mean,
also, I have a question. Does your light switch say Lumos?
It does. And Nox.
Nice.
Mm.
Sorry, random Harry Potter thing.
Wait, is your Brendan a Harry Potter nerd, or?
I mean, do you not see his Nimbus? His Nimbus 2000?
Oh, right.
You should be excited then, because there was a new game announced today.
Was there?
It's like a RPG for Harry Potter, like in the 18th century. All around Hogwarts. Yeah, it was announced today.
What?
Yeah.
I'm interested. What
I think it's called
platform?
I think it's PS5. It's like
What?
called like the Hogwarts the Legacy or something.
I don't understand how people got like so into Harry Potter in the past few years. Like the first book came out in like 98 or 99 and I was like
Listen. Do you remember crying?
crying.
Me and you, we read the fourth book together and like we're crying.
Oh, yeah. I know, but like I read it so long ago and I was obsessed with it and I don't remember anyone else like when I was a child being like, "Ooh, Harry Potter," until the movies came out, I think actually. But like we were obsessed and then all of a sudden in the past couple of years these fucking posers just coming through
Well,
like they
hold
know.
on. Okay, so think about it this way though. Did you enjoy Lord of the Rings?
Same
Yeah.
thing. I was
The
thinking
Hobbit
the
was
same
written
thing.
in 1937. So again, it's the story can be as long as the story is good and the story is classic. Because it's going to be, in your lifetime. I'm going to prepare you for this. I'm sorry, I'm going to prepare you. At some point in your lifetime, they're going to remake the Harry Potter movies.
They better be better.
That's like the most shocking thing I've heard in weeks.
I'm just saying, just prepare yourself because at some point in time, it's going to happen.
I'm really upset about that.
Or they're going to expand on them poorly. Star Wars?
True.
I'm not okay with any of this.
I'm just saying there's a whole wizarding world and you have to be open to it. And on
No,
that
I'm
bombshell, I think we're going to say that is enough for the evening. Are you good with it?
Hasta nuevo? Hasta mañana?
Hasta luego.
What is it? Hasta luego.
Hasta mañana means like tomorrow.
See you
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. So even after messing up for 37 minutes, we still got another 51 out of it. So I mean, there'll be about 30 to 45 minutes. I think that's the relative perspective. I think they gave us enough time. I'm glad we did practice, even if it was just a fuck up.
Yeah, see?
Feel free to if you said any real smart shit on the one where we were by ourselves.
I already deleted it because I didn't even want to hear it. I didn't want to acknowledge that failure, and I just wanted to move on.
Didn't want to apologize to yourself.
Lawful neutral. All right, so I'm gonna head out then. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and hope you guys listened and enjoyed. Love you both.
Love you.
All right, dudes.
Wait, Andy, send me the Instagram login when you get the chance.
Yeah.
Andy said you had a screen grab that was pretty good.
I'll send you that one. I might Photoshop a little bit of it. Love you guys. Peace.